Hey, what it do, y'all? What it do? What it do? Back at it again. Back at it again. Hopefully, my background noise is not too loud. Gotta actually, I gotta actually crank up the heat quite a bit. It's gonna be a little cold tonight, so yeah, I got my heaters working overtime. Not too overtime, I don't want it to be too hot, but yeah, we gonna have to have that heater on tonight, man. Yeah, where I'm at. Yeah, it's cold. Yeah, it's cold out here where I'm at. I'm out here in Kansas. So anybody else out this way, stay warm. But anybody out in the Midwest, anybody out in the Midwest, or I'd say even if you, especially on the East Coast or Northeast, stay warm. Oh, can't forget about the North. The Great White North up there. Like by Wisconsin, up in Minnesota, parts of Illinois is up there by the Great North, but you know, yeah, y'all stay warm. Yeah, y'all stay warm, especially in the Dakotas. And all this actually ties in with tonight's topic. Hey, Mike, do I sound clear? Do you hear any background noise? If I sound clear, just put a one in the chat. Give me 1 second. All right, cool. You gave me that one. Okay, cool. You said at least for you. Hey, either way, I figured if you hear it right, everybody else should hear it right. So yeah, we're gonna go from there. But for those who, hey, what's good, Smart Cookie? Good to see you. Good to see you here. And since you're here, as well as anybody else, especially the ladies, well, first and foremost, this live stream, you know, gotta dress up like a gentleman. So you see me on the screen, dressed up like a gentleman for you tonight. So there you go. But yeah, the virtuous woman I believe is quite a decent lady. So any lady can gravitate to that, resonate to that. Well, guess what? Yeah, it's on me tonight. It's on me tonight. Dressed up like a gentleman. We gonna have a good time. Let's pop some champagne. Let's get the music going. Michael, he up in the building. He said I'm looking sharp. He's looking sharp. We just trying to have a good time, right? That's what we're trying to do. Okay. Now this live stream in particular, like before I really go in, I just want to say this ain't about um how can I put this? You just got all these talks about traditional woman this, pick me, chick. You got all of that going on. Okay. And I'm not trying to bash nobody for using those titles if you want to try to set yourself apart from a lot of the stereotypes in regards to the feminine. But we're just going to get right to the point. We're going to say virtuous woman because, hey, it comes down to that. You could get rid of all these other labels. Are you even virtuous? That's the question. Are you even virtuous? By the way, in Proverbs 31, chapter 31, I'm not going to go over scripture for that, but yeah, that's what a virtuous woman is. She's in Proverbs chapter 31 of the King James Bible, Old Testament. But my point of that is in that passage, it speaks a lot about the the virtuous woman and I believe also about wisdom because in the book of Proverbs it talks a lot about wisdom and wisdom is actually a feminine word. It is. It's a feminine word. Let me make some adjustments. So I want to make sure y'all hear me clear. Try to put it on the automatic setting for my heater. So if I get cold, I'll just put it back on manual. I shouldn't get too cold, but it's gonna be kind of a cold snap tonight. But my point is, it's like, yeah, she keeps the house warm. Yeah, she has a comfort to her. And here's where I'm at with this. So yes, Cookie, and for all the other ladies, hopefully I did not digress too much. But if you haven't been familiar with this topic of mine, my thoughts on enigmatic women, as you see, it is a finale. So that means that I have talked about this quite a few times before. So go to my playlist section at my channel, and you'll see a playlist titled Enigmatic Woman. And you'll see that I've talked about this quite a bit. And we're just doing the finale for it. Oh, and we got a new one in the building. Hey, good evening. Hello. Hello. Hey, good to see you in the building for the first time. Hopefully you stop by many more times going forward. But here's my thing. Like, one of the uploads within that playlist of Enigmatic Woman is titled Virtuous Women Are Enigmatic. And why do I think this is the case? Well, if you just look up the word, if you just look up enigmatic itself, like, it'll give you a lot of various definitions, but mainly more so it's that it's something that's a puzzle. That's basically what you get from enigmatic, is that it's puzzling. It's a puzzle. Now, contrary to popular belief, because you'll have some people think, well, an enigma is like something that's unpredictable. No, that's not the case. It doesn't have anything to do with predictability or unpredictability. That's not what enigma means. Enigma simply means puzzle. Kind of like back in the day, kind of like back in the days of World War II, when they came up with even the Enigma machine, just to kind of confuse the Nazis. I think the Allies kind of built this thing called an Enigma machine, and it was supposed to kind of scramble a lot of messages, so that the Nazis and the axis of evil, as they call it, Germany, Italy, and Japan, they wouldn't be able to understand what was being spoken or written down, if you will. And on top of that, they used Navajo code talkers. They also used other tribal code talkers, but Navajo were the most prominent and most known of the code talkers during World War II. But my point is that all this ties in with the puzzle. No riddle to it either. It's just a puzzle. That's really what an enigma is. So another thing, enigma has nothing to do with really a mystery. I had to catch myself on that at one point too, when I really started to get more into enigma. But here's the thing, enigma is not about being mysterious. Enigma is about being misunderstood. And Smart Cookie said, yes, that word describes me. We're going to get more into it. So yes, I'm glad this is starting to click with you little by little. I won't go too heavy into uh you said Aloe, you said who would best suit this type of woman? Good question. We're gonna go in. Yeah, and I'm not sure if you caught part of what I was saying earlier. Like, check out my playlist. That'll give you even more of a breakdown where I got a playlist specifically titled Enigmatic Woman. But yes, to quickly answer your question, Aloe, who would best suit this type of who would best suit this type of woman? It's really it goes like this, okay? Because there was at one point I did a series here at my channel, my thoughts about the Sigma female, and I realized within that series there was quite a division in regards to the type of feminine gender that lives a solitary lifestyle. So this kind of starts to open up the door as to what the enigmatic woman is. She is someone that is more solitary. She's not that type of a group kind of an individual. I mean, she gets along with other ladies and things like that, but she can do a lot on her own, and that was also a major attribute of the virtuous woman. She was just someone that know how to get out and get it done. She didn't need validation. I mean, she loved the validation within her close circle, but she didn't need general validation just to get up and do something. So, because I mean, she held tight to these virtues. But basically, this whole solitary mindset of an enigmatic woman, uh, this is someone that was born this way. And whereas what I come to find out with the new definition of what I believe has come to be of Sigma is Sigma nowadays is someone that became solitary. So you got a lot of the feminine that became solitary and started doing things, but they weren't necessarily born a certain way of having like a solitary mindset, just naturally getting things done. So this is like something for the enigmatic woman is very unique because this what I mean by this is she has this gift from a young age. It wasn't some people try to treat it as a curse, but it was actually a gift on her end because as a young girl, there was a lot that she was able to achieve on her own from a very young age. She didn't have to have a lot of parental assistance or supervision to guide her with her maturity, things like that. Um, you said, Aloe, you said it's hard not having a female role model you resonate with, someone cool. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean. Yeah, that small circle. She only has like a small circle. Yeah, exactly. Um, there ain't too many that she really leans towards. You know, they have to be really more or less someone that she has like a real magnetic connection with. But yeah, just to hopefully break down more of the enigmatic woman. Basically, in a nutshell, you because I at one time had this tied in with my Sigma Female series, which is a playlist that you can also look up here at my channel, Sigma Female. And basically, I think chapter 4 or no, part 4 of my thoughts on a Sigma Female within that playlist. That's where I start to separate Sigma Female from Enigmatic Woman. Because basically, yeah, the Sigma Female type, she was the type that became solitary. She became kind of that type to do things on her own, even though she wasn't always that way, but situations led her to be that way. She's more of like the Trinity type from the Matrix, that type of feminine. Whereas an enigmatic woman, she's always been kind of like gifted to where she did a lot of things by herself. She was able to connect more with nature, in tune with the spirits and things like that, with the surroundings. Very spiritual, very religious, depending on her background, depending on her faith and beliefs. But she's in tune. She's connected, and she didn't really have to have a lot of things prompt her to be a certain way, if you will. But we want to kind of get more into this finale aspect. Yeah, we're going to get deeper in this because there's so much I want to break down. I didn't even think I was going to do a finale on the enigmatic woman, but I felt it was right. I felt it was necessary, and I've even talked about it on other platforms about this idea of the virtuous woman of tomorrow. Hmm. But see, let's describe more of what Aloe was asking me about. Who would best suit this type of woman? So I sort of already given one a background of saying that yes, she was a type that was born kind of like solitary, and she was like the black sheep type, but she was very gifted, and she just knew how to do a lot of things. Like her maturity, her development was well, I apologize, y'all. Get that on mute. But yeah, she was gifted, and she came up with her maturity. She came up in her way of maturity in a way that was it was more natural, more organic, if you will. And the and that's what makes her different, the enigmatic woman different from the Sigma female. But see, the Sigma female, given how she came up, she would be more of the metro type, more into the know of the city and the lifestyle. Maybe sometimes she does adapt to like country life or in the woods, backwoods type of life to a certain extent. You know, sometimes that could fit a Sigma female, but rarely do you see that type of feminine out there on their own, even in the deep woods like that. That's rare. However, with the enigmatic woman, she's not metro like the Sigma female. She's more tribal because of her gifts, her natural gifts, her background, her connection with the wild, with the nature. She's already like in tune with everything. She taps in that way. You said, Michael, you said it's okay to be alone, love yourself first and love others. Exactly. You said smart cookie. A lot of men have a problem with looking at a woman as a role model. I don't see why. I mean, a lot of women give me inspiration if they have that type of femininity that resonates with my masculinity. Hey, I could dig it. I always liked Aaliyah. I mean, there are some others. Um, we could talk about Anita Baker back in her younger days, and just a lot what I'm learning more about her. I'm still learning a lot about Anita Baker. So that's a side note. That's a side project. You said Michael FBI. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Kind of in that direction. But I guess if we add the letter O, meaning organic, that definitely describes the enigmatic woman because she was never like assimilated to today's popular culture, society, but yet she somehow still have this this feminine beauty and inspiration about her that was organic. See if we added the letter O to that acronym of FBI, that would fit the enigmatic woman well. You said aloe. Some people find you off putting if they can't figure you out, in my experience. Exactly. Yeah. Because that's what they're trying to do instead of just kind of letting things flow a certain way. You know, the organic and coachable side that Michael talked about just now, because that also is part of an enigmatic woman. See, and I've said this, and I don't want to give too much away in regards to that playlist, but a lot of times with her, it's not that she asks questions because she questions the individual. A lot of times she already has the answer. And a lot of times you get around people, if you are of the greater feminine, like the enigmatic woman, and you realize a lot of people just kind of they not really on point with what they're talking about and what they're trying to show you. But we're going to continue on because I believe the enigmatic woman is a rare specter spectacle, if you will. It's literally like a spectacle within the spectrum of the feminine. And that's why I said a virtuous woman is enigmatic because just like the virtuous woman, as it is written in scripture, she's rare. Enigmatic women are rare. So you tie in the virtuous aspect, it just makes sense to me. Because I tell you right now, when I was trying to bring this idea of a virtuous woman to those who go by the modern definition of what a Sigma female is, they didn't agree with that. Okay. And so, there's this idea of Sigma being born versus made, if you will, just kind of like you see this argument amongst the Sigma males and the Sigma females about this idea of being born versus being made. So I believe the enigmatic woman and the enigmatic man, if you will, they're just totally separate from those arguments because there are people who were born a certain way that made you kind of stand out. Okay. See, what gets me the greatest attribute of the enigmatic woman is in these times that we live in, the enigmatic woman actually is focused on just doing the proper things right now. She's not so worried about the future, like it says in scripture, don't worry about tomorrow, nor is she dwelling in the past. She's trying to be the best version. I mean, she's trying to do the best that she can right now. I hate to really say be the best version of yourself. I hear everybody say that. It's such played out right now. But she is doing the best she can as who she is right now. That's the enigmatic woman. She's not like the rest of the modern day feminine that worry too much about the future and dwell too much in the past or hold on to the past. She looks at it this way. If she just works on doing the best she can right now, everything will speak for itself in the future. And as well as she can look back upon from time to time and say, you know what? I did that. Yeah. Oh, Mike, I got to get you though. I got to get you, fam. I got to get you. You said unicorn. Keep in mind, a unicorn is a male mythical horse. Keep that in mind. We'll just say that, well, given what I use at my channel a lot, I'd say that the enigmatic woman, aka the virtuous woman, she's a twilight. She's definitely a twilight because not too many of the feminine want to take on light, not even a shade of the light, which is what a twilight is. Nothing like a twilight. How beautiful it is when you wake up in the morning, just seeing the glimmer of the sunshine. Yes, seeing the glimmer of the sunshine before the sun appears. And yet you see the different colors. And that's in essence like what the virtuous woman brings in her enigmatic form. It even says in scripture how she's the first one up, making breakfast. You know, you get guys that get mad because the chick is up before he is, but it even says in scripture that she gets up before the family, before the man. And she's up making breakfast. She's up just trying to, hey, how you doing? You know, just that calmness in her voice. So ladies, work on your voice, be more calm. Have an indoor voice versus your outdoor voice because with the enigmatic woman, this comes very easily. And I say this because for those who believe they have this enigmatic trait, which is not sigma, it's enigma, meaning that you were born gifted in this way to where you've had this type of a black sheep of a life as the feminine, you have you just have to come into what I'm talking about right now. This is you. You just have to come into it. Whereas others, you have a lot of the modern day feminine, they don't want to be virtuous. They talk about virtuous women just because they grew up in church hearing about it, but they don't realize it's actually something very unique and very rare, as it even says in scripture. It's rare. She's far more precious than what? The rubies and things like that. So there you go. You said aloe. I notice some women don't like femininity, rather think their power is masculine, yet they seem drained. You can tell, look at their face, they be looking so zombified. Yeah, it's crazy because they spending so much time like they got to prove something, but all they're doing is just digging an early grave for themselves, and you can see it literally. Yep, exactly, Mike. Needle in a haystack. Yep, she's definitely a twilight, indeed. See, just tying in with this finale aspect, and for those listening to this on the replay, yeah, this definitely going to be added to that playlist of mine here titled Enigmatic Woman. See, the enigmatic woman, given the way that she's had to live her life uniquely because she has this cultural, this tribal background about her. Y'all see the thumbnail. Y'all see those ladies. Very tribal, very cultural. That's rare. Even rare in those parts where they come from. As every place in the world gets more westernized, it's just going to be rare to see just this tribal, this grassroots type of attribute of the feminine. Just someone that's just willing to make sure that you're drinking the proper type of water before you get out of bed, fellas. Just someone that wants to make sure that, yo, how's your temperature? You can't get up out of the bed if your temperature is wrong, baby. You know, she talking to you like that. Like, but that's because it's not based on romantics. It's because that's been a part of her since she was young. Like she's been in tune with the anatomy. She's been in tune with nature. So she knows when the vibe's not right. She's very empathic. Okay. She feels things. She's very sympathetic. She's very caring, things that are rare. Okay. And this is definitely not me trying to get a lot of the feminine to be this way. No, I realize this is so rare. I just believe that this will resonate to the feminine that believes that she is already this way. Now, in regards to the feminine that are enigmatic, the enigmatic women that I believe are the true virtuous women of these times, all of her travels are purpose driven, yet she's not a wanderer. You know, you have a lot of the feminine out here that's in this day and age. They like to wander out yonder. They like to go to all these different places, see all these different faces, and yet they continue to ponder upon, like, okay, what I really want to do. They don't really know, but it wasn't meant for them to really know. Like, this is deep. Remember, Eve had that situation where she was what? Able to know because she ate the fruit. She started to know things upon biting that fruit. What the tree of knowledge, she bit the fruit. She started to know. Whereas the enigmatic woman, she comes from more of a place of innocence. Whereas she's more about, she goes with what was instilled in her, and she doesn't try to go too far outside of that. She tries to keep her life simple. So one thing I've noticed from a lot of more tribal and indigenous feminine from around the world, they don't like to, you know, that statement, if it's not broke, don't fix it. A lot of them live that way. They don't like to step too far out of their confines. Like, if they've never had a TV, don't expect them to get one. If they've never had a certain type of phone, don't expect them to get one. They want to keep things a certain way and live a certain way and be a certain way. Hey, what's good, Sheik? Good to see you up in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For sure. But she likes to keep her life simple. She don't like to go too far out of her way, um, to be living too complex, to be too much on the edge. She's the type that's not really big on the dating, and she's probably not even about the dating market. Like to her, that's foreign. She's just like, for her, it's just more about courting and building a legacy, and solidifying some type of a companionship. Like, there's really no dating with the enigmatic woman, because she's more what, grassroots. She's more tribal. She's more spiritual. She's more empathic. Remember, she's been like this since she was a child. She's been very gifted in this. You know, it's helped her to maneuver and not have so many of these experiences that we hear a lot of these 304s have, if you will. You know, all this stock culture going on, all of that. Now, let's say, you know, there could have been an enigmatic woman that had been through some things. You know, some of these women have been kidnapped, okay? Some of them have been abused, but they've always felt in tune with what was real, and they somehow got back into the way they knew they were supposed to be living this whole time. They were able to find ways to get repaired and redeemed and get back into their true feminine. You know, you got a lot of the feminine nowadays, they're on that lesser feminine. They're just about finding themselves. They're not really about trying to be feminine to still have the masculine in their life. They just want to be masculine in this life. You see the difference? But yeah, with the enigmatic woman, like I said, you know, all of her travels are purpose driven. All of her travels are purpose driven. She's not a wanderer. She doesn't want to be noticed traveling alone either. She rarely does, even though it's kind of like, you know, she knows how to get around. She basically thinks no different than like a lot of animals, a lot of pack animals, like with a lot of wolves and things like that. She goes where she goes, but she doesn't like to go by herself for too long. She kind of likes to travel in between. She likes to just travel in between. That's it. You said aloe. You said yeah. My mother said to me once, "Who taught you this way? We are complete opposite. I find her very abrasive." See, exactly. He's just like, what? Like, I mean, you know, and that could be a spiritual thing. Like, you could have gotten something from previous generation of great women, passed down to you, and you finally got that, that wonderful link, that lineage. Like, it passed on to you. You see, sometimes the greatness of the enigmatic gene, if you will, of what the virtuous woman is about, sometimes it skips a generation. I believe that. But yeah, she remains shy, like a wolf. She remains shy. She's very shy. She's not the type to just go out. So, you know, some guys be like, well, man, you know, it's hard to approach women. Well, you know, there might be one that's just enigmatic and she's just shy, but you know, she might like you though. She might like you. It's just how you come off. But you have to be enigmatic yourself. I believe wolves like wolves. Okay. Wolves mixed with dogs is not the best outcome. I believe with the enigmatic woman, she wants to be pure, not only in her heart, her mind, her blood, her spirit, her genes, just overall, she wants to be pure in every way, and even pure with the type of man that she's interacting with. So she is the type that would have been celibate since she was very young, not just more or less be celibate because things ain't looking good right now. She's just going through some type of a thought phase. No, like uh those that are like the enigmatic woman type, they probably haven't had a man for a while because they want a special kind of a man. You see? So, I know fellas, y'all probably have heard somebody tell y'all too, like, yo, there's a special woman for you. What do you think what do you think the enigmatic woman has to wake up to, given how much virtue she has? She has to know, like, yo, I'm made for a special type of a man. Yeah, she's specially made for a special type of a man. And she's willing to kind of hold it out if she knows that there's a certain guy that she runs into that he's not that special. There's nothing special about him, right? You see a lot of guys out here. There ain't nothing special about a lot of these guys out here. And see a gifted woman like an enigmatic woman knows this now. Now she's the type that could have been very gifted at music, uh, maybe scholars like in school, like mathematics. Um, she could have been good at culinary. She's just gifted, but she still has this unwavering amount of wisdom on top of that. But yeah, she's shy, just like that wolf. She would prefer not to travel far nor often. She just, like I said, she likes to go in between, just get to where she got to go, and then come back home because she knows like femininity in this day and age, regardless of all the independent women and all the I'm gonna do me type of chicks, she knows that her just being a woman is a fragile position. She could care less about this whole Me Too movement. She's not looking at the times. She's looking at the spirit. She's looking at the fact that there's still a guy out there that could possibly try to stalk her. At any time, there's a guy out there who could try to hurt her. So she's very thoughtful about that and how she goes about and how she does things. So that makes her shy in that regard. It makes her thoughtful. Like, you got a lot of chicks who just they go around like dudes. Like they just think they got nothing to worry about. And of course, you got some chicks that walk around, they got their little guns and stuff like that. I get that. But the enigmatic woman just tries to avoid all that by just limiting how she travels, being very thoughtful about it. And this is actually how a lot of the she wolves think, the female wolves, they think that way too. But yeah, as I said, the enigmatic woman has a tribal mindset. She's very down to earth. However, she discerns if her community remains culturally intact on a regular basis. So let's say this for even a lot of the ladies here that are more than likely from the United States. And let's say your neighborhood, you feel like it's kind of off. Like it's just not the way it used to be. Your neighborhood, things are just not the same. You look at the state of the United States, you look at the state of your culture, based on your ethnicity, depending on what color you are, and you're very observant of that. And you always check into that because see, like the real tribal women, the indigenous women of the world, they always want to be in tune with their grassroots, making sure things are intact, making sure that everybody's together, like just trying to get the gals to still doing get they try to get a lot of the gals to still do a lot of traditional things. Yes, I said traditional. It's funny how we got this idea of you know not having a lot of the feminine being traditional, but yet like this idea of the virtuous woman, which is enigmatic, as I've said earlier, everything about her is traditional. Like it's a given. She knows how to make her own clothes, or she wants to make her own clothes. She wants to just do a lot of things from scratch. She's good at remedies. Okay. She does a lot of things that are still like of the earth, down to earth. Okay. It's not just people think, here mostly in the States. People think traditional in regards to, oh, indie music, listening to Jill Scott. Not throwing a shot at Jill Scott, okay? I'm just saying, like, you see a lot of, a lot of the modern day chicks, they think about tradition like neo soul and, you know, looking that Erica Badu-ish. Like, no, that's tradition. That's not what it means. We're talking about virtuous. There's things you actually do. It's not necessarily about the way you look. You got a lot of chicks who look a certain way, but they are not a certain way. Okay. Like, it's no different than how you would see a lot of guys. Okay. And that's why I'm even thoughtful about my appearance. I don't want to look like as if I just got out of the trap house. So that's an example on my end. Okay. But yeah, enigmatic women are misunderstood, but not rebellious. That's something else to think about because we do have this talk, about a lot of the modern day feminine being rebellious. And not that this is a counter argument that I'm stating. I'm not saying anything that's like an argument or a counter argument, but enigmatic women are not rebellious by nature. They're not. Yeah, yes, sir. Right, right. But yeah, like they're not rebellious by nature. It's never been like that in them because they're always inquisitive about the world. They're not apprehensive about the world. They know they were born in this world. They're not really apprehensive about it. They're inquisitive about it. So they're always just trying to learn. They're eager to learn. They're eager to grow. So fellas, how do you know you've ran into like this type of a feminine that is virtuous? Like she actually wants to learn from you. And not merely just because she's learning from you, but it's just the idea that she actually likes learning something from you. Like you inspire her. She actually wants to listen. To me, that's attractive. And you don't see that all the time where you get a gal, she just be like, hey, well, when you get some time, I would love to hear more of your insight on that. Like, that really got me, like got me thinking. And if you got some time, I would love to talk to you more about that. Like, yo, that's to me, that's dope. You feel me? Like, that's literally like dopamine. And so this is what the enigmatic woman brings, because I've ran to a lot of the feminine, and a lot of them would tell me like, yo, this is how I was when I was young. Like I've always been like this. My mom, my dad, they all were like, they never could understand like how I just always wanted to grow and learn. I always asked about everything around me. You get some chicks like that. Some of them do know how to fix on cars, but they didn't want to fix on cars just to learn how to fix on cars. It was just like, oh wow, cool. Just a little curiosity, right? And but yeah, to me, and I'll just kind of say it this way: the enigmatic woman has no problem with breaking bread. But let's really break down that terminology. Let's break that down. Because if you do know one other thing within that Proverbs 31 about the virtuous woman, which I believe represents the enigmatic woman, uh, like she made sure the home was taken care of. Period. Like the man that was in her life, she made sure that he was good, that he was taken care of, so that he can go about doing what he needed to do as a man. She made sure that he was good. And it didn't have to necessarily be money. So I'm not saying that, even though that's cool too, because that means that's an investment. You don't just make emotional investments, you make financial investments, you make spiritual investments, you obviously make physical investments via intimacy and sex, but there's so many ways. But she makes sure that he's taken care of. But yeah, she's the type to not really get off into all of the level up and hypergamy talks. See, it's funny because now in like 2022 and less in 2021, I didn't hear a lot of hypergamy talks as much as I did like back in 2020, but level up in hypergamy, I just didn't hear that kind of conversation that much after 2020. I mean, it's still out there. I mean, now it's just like high value man and he has to make over 50K and things like that. But it's not like necessarily specifically talking about level up in hypergamy, right? But like I said, the enigmatic woman, she's never been like that because she always just wants to make sure that the man that's in her life is taken care of because she already sees what type of man he is. She never came into the situation with the expectation that he had to, already have something to his name. She just liked the fact that she just liked his name. That's it. She just actually liked his name. She just liked who he was and what he was about, and his drive, and the fact that they connected on such a deeper level that was beyond a lot of what you can see with the naked eye, if you will. Yeah, what you can see with the naked eye. It was beyond all that. Um, and the last thing she wants out of this life and world is a high value man, or as they used to say, a man of means. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up, smart cookie. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I could dig it. Yeah, but it ain't always about a man of means, because guess what? That same man can be very mean. See, the enigmatic woman, aka the virtuous woman, she knows that a man of means can be very mean. She knows that, and she don't want to deal with that. You said she knew he was going. She knew what he was going to do and what men do, so it was about him. Exactly, exactly. You said a smart cookie. I have worked too hard to be with someone that isn't as driven as I am. Oh yeah, I feel you. I feel you. And see, that's the thing. Like with her, that embodies her virtues. See, with your hard work, smart cookie, literally that tied right in with your virtues. Little do you know that tied right in with your virtues. I'm gonna actually do a little segue, right? So let's just look up virtue. Why not? Virtuous woman. I believe this ties in with the enigmatic woman because why? A lot of the feminine do not have virtues. They talk about standards, but they don't have virtue. And see, I always say this. I believe that the feminine, instead of talking about having standards, she should actually have more humility versus saying that she has standards. Because just as much as you try to build on your standards, if you have a weak foundation, you ain't going nowhere. You're going to come crashing down once again. Okay. But ironically, there's part of the definition of virtue that says a behavior showing high moral standards. That's kind of like one of the definitions of virtue. But see, my thing is the way that the virtuous woman goes about displaying this virtue is just more or less just from trying to just do good, show her goodness, if you will, like just trying not to be the way the rest of the world is, being conformed to this world. She just wants to show that she's just trying her best, like doing the best that she can to show that she's good. We live in a world where the feminine aren't honored for really being good no more, just like a lot of the masculine aren't that honored for being good anymore. You said a smart cookie. The Proverbs woman had businesses that she owned. Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah. And then you said, I just have non-negotiables. Oh yeah, I can see that. I mean, especially, I mean, depending on where you live and you kind of see the way that environment is and the way you have to go about getting through that and getting through that environment or getting out of that environment. I mean, the enigmatic woman is no different. I mean, if she's going down to the market to, let's go back in those old days, right? Let's say she's going down to the market to trade, to sell some food, some produce, in order to bring it back home to her family. There's no negotiables. Like she's just trying to keep her life simple. And she knows that a lot of people that come around her way, they're gonna veer her off that path. She loves the way her life is. She's actually not the type to go look for greener grass on the other side. She's not gonna do that. Not with the man that she's around. They might have ups and downs. However, they have a lot of ups instead of downs. They have more ups than downs. So she's not, I repeat, she's not going to look for greener grass on the other side. And that's due to her virtues. Why? She wants to be what? Good by her man. See? So it's things like that. And a lot of the feminine from those tribal backgrounds, a lot of them that even in this Western society that grow up gifted and they've always dreamed of having a man and having kids, starting off from a young age, they always believed in sticking with that man. You know what I'm saying? They always believed in that non-negotiable. Yeah, like this is what I'm about. And this is the type of man that I know I'm made for. Yes, ladies, start saying that. This is the type of man that I'm made for versus the type of man that you think you should have in your life. Think about how are you made for that type of man? This is the type of man that I'm made for. See, we can really go into a lot of conversation with that. We can. Because see, the virtue and everything that you embody, ultimately it reflects the type of man that you end up around. So, ladies, keep in mind that everything that you do in this life as a feminine, it should reflect the masculine that you encounter. And so, maybe for some of y'all, you just haven't gotten to that point yet. But yet, for the enigmatic woman, this actually is something that she keeps in mind a lot. I'm not saying she has it all together. Nothing's perfect. However, she can identify the type of man that she knows that she's made for. And usually there's a pattern with that type of man. Like, not to say that she's had bad relationships with those guys either, but she's made for a certain type of man. The enigmatic woman is, she's not out here trying to spread herself thin, literally, like you see with most of the modern day feminine, because they come off trying to act just like men. Okay. The enigmatic woman actually wants to come off as a woman, not as a man. One second. And mind you, there are still going to be some of the feminine that still strive for virtue, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for the enigmatic woman, this is something that she naturally embodies. She naturally embodies that. She didn't have to go through so many things just to embody certain virtues. Okay. She didn't have to go through certain things like that. Okay. But yeah, from her point of view, she knows that money doesn't make the man, and she could care less about the man making the money. It's all about his heart and spirit in either situation, because anything can go wrong. And you have to see how one carries themselves in that situation. And also, she's not the type to make up a situation to see how he will come about acting, like they would call a test. Okay, the enigmatic woman does not test the man that she's with. She doesn't do that. It's not in her to do that. It's not in her nature to do that, because she already knows from day one the type of man that she is around, because she knows that's the type of man that she's made for. She knows that. Who knows? Maybe initially she didn't even know, like, oh man, I didn't know we had like this much in common. But then it just kind of clicked, like this synergy happens, and y'all like, wow, I guess we do have quite a bit in common. And it's just on a deeper level, or a level I didn't realize. It's like you tend to look at a different lens through your cataracts, and you start to see different colors you never seen before. That's how it is, depending on the type of person you run into. You're like, oh wow, okay. I didn't know we had it like this. Okay. So that's how the enigmatic woman is around a certain type of man that she encounters. She doesn't have to test him just to try to see how things are going to be. Okay. Now, she seeks a tame lifestyle. She seeks a tame lifestyle with a man, not a domesticated lifestyle. The way she remains while that heart is by keeping that in mind. Yes, she wants to be tamed for that man. Like I said, she's more like a wolf. And she wants to be around a guy that's like a wolf himself. See, and I speak on wolves different than everybody else do. But in essence, she don't want to be around a dog no more. So hey, that could be true, ladies, especially if you're about your virtues. You don't want to be around no more dogs. I'm tired of these dogs. Well, you got to get around a wolf. Ow! But see, that's the thing. She wants to be tame around that wolf. She doesn't want to be domesticated, like in a sense of where in that situation, she's just being controlled. And you got a lot of couples, you got a lot of people now getting big on BDSM. I'm seeing that kind of the norm now on Instagram. You got a lot of people now, especially a lot of the feminine nowadays, they thinking like, yes, keep me in the home, daddy, and spank me, do what you want. Like, I guess some type of thing to where, okay, you can spank me. Like, no, like femininity don't necessarily require a spanking like that. Like, just be in your feminine, be tame as a wolf to that man, that's a wolf to you. Like, and just be in your feminine, be in that sense of rest and peace. Literally, not to say rest in peace, be in that rest and peace. We don't see that. We don't see that. It is sad that a lot of folk don't rest in peace until they rest in peace. It's not supposed to be that way. You need to rest now. You need to rest now. Okay. And that's something that the enigmatic woman, uh, you said smart cookie. What's wrong with a spanking? Hey, I never said nothing was wrong with a spanking. It's just more or less like that's kind of been like the norm of, you know, the way a lot of popular society is going based on, deeper traumas. I guess they take spanking to another level, if that makes sense, smart cookie. Yeah, they take the spanking to another level. I ain't saying anything wrong with spanking, but it's just people take it to another level. You talking about getting gagged and all kind of stuff and getting your back with welts in your. I ain't gonna go into detail. You know what I'm talking about, obviously. I'm just playing, but yeah, we just want to get back to a more primal time. More indigenous, more original. I mean, cause yeah, I'm not sure if even like I guess that's one for interpretation of the virtuous woman, aka the enigmatic woman, if she wanted to get a spanking. But I'm just saying, we just need a more simple life. You want to be the opposite of the world. Like with the way the world interacts with each other, you always want to be the opposite of that, especially as the feminine. And especially if that's been the way you've been since you were young, you just kind of move about a little different. You kind of do things a little different. We have 53 minutes and we still clicking and ticking, okay? But yeah, with wolves, let's get back to these wolves. Because I believe with the whole enigma, wolves go right hand in hand. I've always said wolves were never Sigma. Wolves were Enigma. Okay? And Enigma, virtuous, you get it. Wolves never turn on other wolves. Keep that in mind. You got the virtuous woman, and then you got these virtual women. Huh? Now, I said also in the upload about how a lot of the world is going from meditation to meditation. But also keep in mind, a lot of these feminine that talk about being virtuous women or just virtual women. They're just virtual. They're not actual. They don't mean what they say. They don't say what they mean. They're just nothing more than a video chat. That's all a lot of them are. Get them in real life. The rubber hits the road. No more rubber. Simple as that. Okay. Never be the virtual woman. Be the virtuous woman. If you're virtuous, don't be virtual about it. Be actual about it. Okay. But yeah, wolves never turn on other wolves. She only turns on those that are not, in the rare case. Hold up. Hold up. I had to kind of rephrase that. I was thinking about something. I was thinking like, wolves never turn on other wolves. And she only turns on those that are not like her. Okay. That's what I meant to say. And in the rare case, she turns on someone else that's supposed to be like her. It's because she doesn't know who they really are. See, it's like this. Goes back to what I said earlier about her shy side, like the wolf type. She finds out a lot of people aren't who they say they are. That's all. She just had to turn a leaf and realize, oh, they are not who they say they are. She sniffed it. She smelt it. See, one thing about wolves, they're not like dogs. They don't just be so quick to come up and wag the tail and sniff you out and then start and then start licking you. No, wolves, they kind of walk up to you about 5 feet, sniff, back off, walk up to you again, 5 feet within, sniff, back off. And then I guess maybe about 30 minutes later, they'll come a little closer, maybe like about 3 feet, give you a quick sniff, back off once again until they actually feel comfortable being around you. And if there's any sign of something not right about you, they're going to show their fangs and go the separate way. And so that's what I mean in regards to all this, in regards to the enigmatic woman. And ladies, like if you know this is what you embody, but you just haven't tapped into it, or you sometimes were just like, why would I act like this? And I just didn't know what it was and how to deal with it without people treating me a certain way. Well, it's just kind of that wolf instinct you had that you didn't realize you had. And I'd say work on your shyness more. You gotta sniff people out a little more. Just gotta, if they mean well, they're gonna show you well and always let you know that. Like, that's all. But yeah, when you find out someone is not who they really are, like, because they were lying, oh yeah, that's when you, oh yeah, that's when you turn up. But yeah, last but not least, an enigmatic woman never uses the statement that I am different. See, we live in a world where a lot of guys have realized that all girls are the same, as with what Juice World wrote in his infamous rap song, All Girls Are the Same. And as a result, the enigmatic woman lives in the world where most of the modern day feminine have no respect for the masculine, and let alone had any virtues to appreciate the masculine, that appreciate the feminine, especially if there's a lady in her true feminine. But I'd say, like, at this point, it's very, very important, ladies. And I'm not going to do my typical closing statement for this live stream. I'll just kind of have a few more things to say right quick. But I believe it's important for those rare few that know you are virtuous because you've displayed this ever since you were young. You have to tap in and hone in on your gifts now. You have to get more traditional. You got to pull out that old quilt, those needles and threads that your great grandmother showed you one time. Start learning how to make quilted clothes. If you have a sewing machine, learn how to sew again. You probably knew how to sew, but you stopped. Get off into more traditional things because it's actually going to awaken a lot of your conscious, the subconscious, on a deeper realm that the modern feminine aren't trying to do. They're too stuck on a lot of social media trying to look for the latest meme to best describe their emotions for that day. Whereas you're trying your best to cultivate, and you're thinking about how you can be part of a decent family, how you can contribute, how you can know that all of what you're doing as a woman is not in vain. You see a lot of the feminine, they live in vanity every single day. And you made up your mind a long time ago, especially when you were young, that you never wanted that to be you. Okay. So that separates you from a lot of the feminine, and it has separated you. I've known a lot of chicks that have still lived simple lives ever since they were young, and they're in their 50s right now, and they still live that same life that they were living since they were young, whether they knew of the times or they just knew they needed to keep things a certain way over time, no matter how much times have changed. Well, she still looks the same, and all her friends, they the ones that look different. One second. But yeah, with that said, I hope everyone enjoyed this live stream. For those who haven't checked out my playlist of Enigmatic Women, make sure that you do so. I think that you'll like that. And start from the first upload that I ever did in that playlist and play it up till now. And after that, there is a separate aspect of that playlist called Virtuous Women or Enigmatic, which kind of ties in more of what I've been talking about tonight. Things that I have not talked about tonight, I talk about in that playlist. And I'm still going to add more to that topic of virtuous women or enigmatic. There's a lot more things we could discuss, but this live stream here just rounds up that whole series of my thoughts on enigmatic women. I'm actually working on a book for the Sigma female, but I will not be working on a book for the enigmatic woman. We'll see. But I believe it is such a rare thing for people to really understand because you know what I'm saying? Everybody think that the virtuous woman is something that every woman could be. Like, no, it's not. Even the Bible said a virtuous woman is rare, for she's rare like rubies. So come on now. Oh yeah, no problem, Mike. No problem. It's good to have you up in the building. So I appreciate you, you know, being even at my channel. I know you be at a lot of top tier channels. So for you to stop by here, I appreciate that. You said Cookie. This was very interesting. Thanks for getting this out. Good night, everyone. Oh, you welcome in. Good night to you as well. Rest well. And for sure, we definitely going to have some more greatness on the way. And with that said, everybody who is new to this channel, you like my content, make sure that you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you get my uploads in real time. Hit that like button if this live stream you was digging it. And if you just like my content in general. Yeah, check me out. In my description, you'll see different links. You can catch me outside of YouTube if you want to tip me. That's also in the description section. But yeah, we all need to get some sleep based on the date of this live stream. Cookie gonna have some sweet dreams. So yeah, sweet dreams to you, smart Cookie. I'm gonna try to have some sweet dreams. Everybody else has some sweet dreams. And yes, to all of the ladies that believe that you are of the enigmatic woman type, think of this. I want y'all to think of this, okay? Think about yourself similar to what you see in that thumbnail, wearing a traditional clothing, just looking more indigenous. And I don't mean to say that from like a cult standpoint. I'm just saying, like, a gentleman likes looking at a lady. But even if you're not in the presence of a gentleman, you're still going to look like a lady. Just like even if I'm not in the presence of a lady, I'm still going to look like a gentleman. See what I'm saying? So it's just that different. It's just that difference, if you will. You're not going to be having a Tatiana look. You're not going to have a Tatiana look. You're just going to look your part. You're going to have that quality over quantity, like Michael said, okay? Which is rare. Once again, it is rare. You see a lot of gals out here, they don't care about their body. They don't care about the way their body looks. They don't care what kind of clothes they wear on their body. They don't care the way they look, like with their facial appearance, with their hair, with their skin, with their nails, with their teeth. Okay. Exactly. Lady or Tatiana. It's that simple. You know, we gentlemen desire ladies. Like I said, I dressed up like a gentleman for y'all. And this ain't on no simping type of thing. It's just, hey, you gotta know this is gentlemen dressed up for the ladies. Like you saw the thumbnail of the ladies that looked very traditional. So I had to respond to that because if I was down in those parts, because that thumbnail actually is from, I think I got that thumbnail is from, I think it was a Venezuelan. It was either Venezuelan or some part of Costa Rica. I forget. But yeah, if I was down in those parts, I'm gonna dress like this. I'm gonna be like, hola, I'm gonna be like that. But like, yeah, I mean, it could be anybody. If one of you ladies, smart cookie, whoever, like, if y'all like dressed up, like, hey, I'm gonna dress up. We gonna show out. We gonna have a good time. Like I said earlier, me and Mike, we in the building. We out here the nighttime, looking up at buildings like tall like Burj Khalifa. Nice night, dressed up right, sparkling champagne, gentlemen dressed up for the ladies, looking right, fresh, traditional. Ain't about the high value talks or nothing, just about just getting back to the basis of the way our connection is supposed to be. Exactly. Yep. It's all about the respect. I appreciate that. You already know. Yeah, I got to be taken serious. Like I'm the one that been doing the whole wolf moniker for quite some time. Like, and I'm still on it. I just don't need to show a picture of a wolf to represent who I am. People see the wolf energy about me. Yes, wolves are to be taken serious. Like that's their energy. Yet they're about play as well, but play with the people that actually take them serious. See, there's that dynamic. People don't get that. Yep, I definitely try to put in that work. You already know, and that's just all. That's what it's all about. And I'm getting better at even working smarter. Hey, I still work hard too, but I'm also working smarter. You know, working smarter too. And the enigmatic woman, yes, you sweetie, you special enigmatic woman that's out there. You're not trying to work hard either. You work smart in regards to a man, being around a man, but even just being a woman. Yes, exactly. We get more efficient. That's it. That's it. And that's rare. It's rare. But nothing like something that's smooth, velvety. Okay. Yeah, that's what it's all about. And it's only going to get better from here. As long as we try to hold on to some type of virtue, even if that has not been a part of you naturally, but you can take on some of those what virtues. The world needs to get back into that type of space. Okay, we need to get back into that space so bad in this world, but thankfully there are those like myself that still can try to put out, try to emit some type of a frequency for you to keep in mind. We gotta stay on the morale high. Yes, yes, we do need morals. We definitely need that, Mike. We need that for sure, and we need more of you ladies out there like that. But I know that really it's only a few that will actually be the benchmark for the rest of the feminine. And you ladies are called enigmatic women, and I believe that you are the true virtuous women of these times. Until next time, thanks a million for stopping by, as well as to all of the fellas that stopped by earlier, and for all of the fellas on the replay checking this out, as well as the ladies on the replay checking this out. Thanks a million to all y'all. Much love, and I'll see y'all around on the next one for sure.